Thank you for watching the most profitable show in crypto history. Stop everything that you're doing. Now it's crypto time. Welcome to the Crypto Villas Show.
Olá pessoal, bem-vindo ao canal do Criptovila. Eu sou o Criptovila e estou aqui para compartilhar com vocês as últimas notícias do mundo cripto, pessoal. Bem-vindo todo mundo, tá? Quem é novo no meu canal, se inscreva no meu canal, se inscreva, toca no sininho, todas as notificações e deixa o like aí, tá bom? Também, se possível, me siga no Twitter, tá? E no Instagram também. Se quiser se aprofundar mais, aí entra no nosso grupo do Telegram, tá? Todos esses links estão aqui embaixo na descrição do vídeo, tá? Hoje, como vocês sabem, é um dia muito especial. Vou entrevistar o SLAVIK, o CEO da DAO, tá? Então, vou chamar ele aqui para o show. E as duas primeiras perguntas que eu selecionar, pessoal, tá? Sempre lembrando, pode até escrever em português, não tem problema, tá? As duas primeiras perguntas eu vou ganhar $30 cada uma, tá? Muito provavelmente em Tether, depois eu confirmo para vocês, tá? E aí vocês me mandam a sua wallet, tá? Vai no meu canal, na seção About, o ganhador, através da sua conta Google, me manda a sua wallet da Binance Smart Chain, tá bom? Isso aí, pessoal. Então vamos chamá-lo aqui para o show. Um momento. Vamos lá. Hello, SLAVIK. Thanks so much for coming. Big pleasure to have you here.
Olá, Vila. Olá, todo mundo. Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, I don't really. Actually, yeah, I tried to learn Portuguese, but I don't speak it. But yeah, I can understand something. So yeah, I understood what you said.
That's good. Yeah. So welcome again. And the first question, I'd like that you know a little bit about yourself and what DAO 3.0 is about, right? Can you do a small introduction?
Yeah, sure. Let me tell you about it. So my name is SLAVIK. I'm the CEO of DAO 3.0 LAUNCHPAD. We have a really long name of our project, but it's on the other hand, it's self-explanatory. Yeah, so as you can see from our name, we are a launchpad for blockchain startups. So we help startups to launch their token and to do their fundraising. And on the other hand, we have a very important element, which is DAO. So we will be governed as a decentralized autonomous organization. This is something very important for us, this focus on the community. And that's why we put it into our name.
Okay. And okay, you already said you are creating a DAO 3.0 community, right? And what tools will be available for the community to interact with?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because, you know, I think that this is one of our differences from all other launchpads that exist on the market, because actually they just they just help projects to raise funding, right? But we want to do something different. We want to build a really strong community of investors on our platform. And for this purpose, we built, it's a kind of integrated social network that we built right on our platform. And when I say about this, like a lot of people ask, but what is the purpose? Because I mean that there are a lot of social networks and we can talk in many different places. We can talk on Telegram, on Reddit, like everywhere. Yeah, so what's the purpose? And you know, this is that's the thing, that we don't build a social network for people to communicate, to talk to one another, because it can be done in other places. But one element that makes us different is that we build special tools for decision making. So how will it work? I mean that people, like large group of people, they will be able to make collective decisions. And it will have a lot of interesting consequences. For example, investors will be able to unite into groups and create investment pools and invest in some projects together, like as a community VC, you know, like this is something that brings a lot of opportunities for investors.
Okay. And what are the main advantages for investors and the startups at the DAO 3.0?
Yeah, so maybe I will start with investors. So as I said, we have special functionality to unite them into groups. But how it can help them. So basically, when a startup applies to Launchpad, usually how it works, like the analytics of the Launchpad, they review it, they make some audit of the project, they analyze like the team, the business model, everything. And then they make the decision whether this startup will be launched on the Launchpad or not, if it doesn't meet any criteria. And basically, like on the one hand, we do the same. Like our analysts, they do the assessment of the startup. So they try to understand how it works, whether it has a really good potential and everything. But we do not make the final decision. We make rather a recommendation for our community, and then the community votes. So the community decide whether this project will be listed on our Launchpad or not. And of course, in this situation, when they support the project right from the beginning, so if they approve it, it means that the tokens, they will be sold out like in minutes. So I mean that there's no chance that this launch won't be successful. And I believe this is something very good both for investors and for startups.
Sure. Because as you said, right, if the community already approved the project, of course they're gonna buy like crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And how are investments insured?
This is another feature which we created for our investors. Well, unfortunately, like still there are a lot of scams in the industry. Of course, it doesn't happen that often compared to maybe like 4 years ago, because it was too many scams. Now it's less of them. But at the same time, we still hear in the news that it happens. And of course, as I say, like we will do a very thorough review of the startups. So we don't really expect that something will go wrong and the team will just take the money and disappear. I mean that the chances of it, they will be pretty low. But at the same time, we want our investors to be sure that even if something happens, they are still secured. And for this purpose, we will create a special insurance fund. So if anything goes wrong with the project, so the investors, they will get the refund. So they will still be protected. And, we don't really expect that we will ever use this fund. Because as I say, like our analysts, they will do a very, very thorough audit of every project. But at the same time, we believe that this instrument is needed just to make everyone feel safe.
Sure. And I have some questions about the team. Can you talk a little about the team? I don't know how many people are working where.
Well, right now we have a team of 15 people.
Okay.
We have a rather big team of developers. We have 6 of them. Because as I say, like the technology behind our Launchpad, it's pretty complicated. So I mean that it's different from many other Launchpads, because there like a lot of team members, they work in the operations, while we create a really complicated technology behind it. That's why like our developers, they are a very important part of us. But like there are 6 of them, and in the operations, in marketing, there are 9 people. And this is something to start with, because we expect to expand our team even more, because like we have not even started. I mean that we are only doing all the preparations for our launch, but the launch itself, it will happen within the next month. And I believe that after that, we will add like a couple of more team members. And if we talk about our team, we have a distributed team, but mostly we are based in Europe, so across several countries, in Ukraine, in Russia, in Turkey. Yesterday I interviewed a guy from Czech Republic. So like I can say that we are an international team. And maybe now we are working on growing our communities in different languages, to meet the needs of investors in different parts of the world. Like for now, we don't have a community in Portuguese, but I believe that we may have it pretty soon. Yeah, and so then
That's good.
then we'll take someone who speaks Portuguese to manage our community. Yeah, so this is also in our plans.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And well, are there any partnerships or backers? Maybe some no partnership that you can disclose here. I don't know.
Well, yes, I mean that we have quite a lot of partners and backers. I mean that probably there are like maybe 30 of them. I mean, I won't mention all of them right now, but here I would say about our strategy, because when we did our fundraising, our private round fundraising, it was a little bit different from what most of the projects do, because they usually reach out to VCs, yeah, just to get their money, first of all, to get their connections. Of course, it makes sense. But we used another strategy, and how it was different. So mostly, we did not take funds from traditional VCs. We rather reached out to what is called community VCs. Yeah, so basically, this is just a group of investors. It can be a rather large group of investors, yeah, and they just collect money. So like a lot of people, they give like a little money, and then they collect a big amount. So why we did this? Because we believe that all these people, they will be not just our investors, but actually they will be our first users. So they will become the foundation of our community. And when we launch our platform, they will be really interested in not just selling our token when its price goes up, but actually using it for getting allocations on our Launchpad and interested in investing on our Launchpad.
Yes, I think this is a very good approach, right? And in general, this is very innovative, because the other projects, they do the opposite.
Right, exactly.
Right? So that's a good approach. Okay, let's talk a little about the token economics. Can you do an introduction, say about use cases?
Yeah. Well, if we talk about the token, most launchpads, they use it for tiers. So I mean that to have allocations on the launchpad, you need to hold certain amount of tokens, and depending on how much you hold, you have different opportunities. Yeah, you have different size of allocations. So we on the one hand, people, they will also need to hold our tokens, but at the same time, we don't have a tier system, because we have we call it TG score, but in other words, it's maybe called a reputation system. So basically, if you have even one token, TG DAO, you get some reputation on our platform. And the more tokens you have, the larger your reputation becomes. But the reputation, it depends not only on the amount of tokens. Actually, this is maybe like half of its formula, because it has a really complicated formula. So tokens is one half of the formula, and another half, we try to calculate what value a person brings to other community members. So we track a lot of factors. For example, like how many startups they bring on the platform and recommend for the launch, how many other investors they bring to the platform. We track their previous investments to understand like which of them are the most successful. So I mean that we try to select kind of like professional investment managers who can be used as an example for other people to follow. So I mean that if we see these leaders in investments, other people will be able to track what projects they invest to and just do the same, and earn better profits. Then we will also track like proposals within our DAO system. So I mean that there are a lot of really a lot of factors, and the reason is that we don't want to build a launchpad for crypto whales, because like most other platforms, like the more tokens you hold, the more power you have. So I mean that it just depends on how rich you are. Because if you are not rich, you don't have anything. So we just want to change this, and I believe that with this approach, it will be possible.
Oh, that's very good. And that's a problem because in my community, mainly on Telegram, I can notice that many people, they try to participate, but uh, they can't, right? Because or they don't have a lot of money, or they have a little of money, but they didn't get many tickets, so they didn't get allocation. But if they when they get allocation, he holds, right? He holds, and the other people, the whale, don't hold. The whale just dump the tokens on the market. So this is bad, right? So with the reputation system, this can change, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because we believe that this can be used as an anti-dump mechanism. Yeah, I mean that if we see that people dump tokens, their reputation will go down. Yeah, and so they will have less allocations in the future. So I think that this may be something very powerful.
Totally agree. Keep going here. What will be the initial market cap, right, and the hard cap, the total raised?
If we talk about the numbers, we have in total we have 1 billion tokens. So the amount is rather big. But at the same time, I have to say that 50% of them, they won't be used for the first year because they will be reserved for our DAO. I mean that we will start just as a centralized organization because we have a management team who launches the project. But in 1 year, we expect to make the full transition to the DAO when our investors, they will become like the full owners of the project. And for this purpose, we allocate like a really huge amount of tokens, like 500 million, which we don't know how will be used. I mean that the community will decide how to use all those tokens. Yeah, maybe they will decide to burn them and it will just pump the token price in general. Yeah, or maybe they may decide that they will start some other project using these resources. For example, I don't know, some exchange or something like that. Yeah. So I mean that the amount of tokens is large, but at the same time, if we talk about the market cap, like the initial tokens that will be in circulations, their amount is very, very small. I mean that the initial market cap, which will happen on the day of TG, it will be only like 160K. So it's very tiny. Yeah, and we believe that because of this, our project has a really good potential for the growth. Yeah, so this is something that will make all of our investors happy. Yeah, because like the amount of tokens on the market, it will be very, very little, but we expect that the demand will be rather significant. So we hope that the price will go up and it will make like all our community of token holders happy.
Sure. And how about the tokens held by the team? Are they locked up? And if so, for how long?
Yeah, of course. Like the tokens for the team and for the advisors, they are locked and they have a really long vesting schedule, for 24 months. Yeah, for 2 years. So they will be released gradually, and it just means that the team will be incentivized to work on the project long term. Yeah, because
Sure.
until the team gets all the tokens, they will be just eager to put all their time and efforts to make this project successful.
Sure. And how about the IDO? When and where?
Yeah, the IDO, it will happen very soon because I mean that we are on the final stage of preparations. It will start on January 11th, so on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, and it will last for 2 days on January 11th and 12th. And for our IDO, we selected 5 launchpads. So again, like as I said, we have a focus on the community, and here it is also visible, yeah, because we selected a lot of launchpads, and we want to unite all of their community to take part in our IDO. And actually, all those launchpads, we don't use them just for fundraising, because we made the partnership agreements with all of them. So we will share projects with one another in the future, yeah, and do all kind of cooperation, because on the one hand, we build the community of investors. On the other hand, we build the community of launchpads. So I mean that we just want to build the whole ecosystem of investment into like blockchain startups. Like this is kind of our mission, and we'll just see like how it goes.
Okay. Well, and some people prefer to buy the tokens always in centralized exchange, right? I don't know why, but some people like. So how about this SEX listing? Is there some negotiation?
Well, yes. I mean that we have not announced it yet. But like I would say that we are talking to centralized exchange, and like we have a really high chances to be listed there very, very soon. So I mean, I won't announce anything right now, but you can expect something in the nearest nearest days, right?
Okay. And do you have any KPIs or goals that would you like to share? I don't know, number of community members, IDOs, investors.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a little bit complicated here because I mean that usually when a new project, a new startup is launched, they want to have a lot of users. I mean that every project sets a KPI with the number of users. The more users, the better it is. But with launchpads, it is a little bit controversial because, for example, if we have 100,000 of investors on our launchpad, it means that like most of them, they won't be able to invest into the startup, because like the allocations will be not enough for all of them. Sure. So here we don't have a goal to create a really great number of our users, but instead it should be like some optimal number when everyone can receive allocations into the startup. So for us, I think it's more important to bring more projects who will do their launch on our launchpad. And here we have the following approach. So on the one hand, we will do the public token sale as most other launchpads do. But on another hand, we like our functionality of group investments. Like with it, we will be able to create investment pools. And using these investment pools, we will be able to invest into startups on the private sale. So this will be something that will make more investors happy, because they will have more opportunities to put their money in.
Sure. So that's good. So right now I'm gonna roll out a small video, 20 seconds video, and then we can come back for question and answer.
Okay.
Like this video, subscribe to Crypto Villa's channel, and click on the bell button in order to turn on your notifications. Also, don't forget to follow him on Twitter. That's the only way to get notified earlier so you can take advantage of this. Information is power. Early information is profit.
So let's go. The first question here is from Viner. What are the plans for DAO regarding security? Is there a proposal to partnership with another project specialized on security area for this purpose, like Lossless, for example?
Well, yes, that's a very good question. So on the one hand, of course, we will pass the security audit of our smart contract to make everyone sure that there's nothing wrong with it and that everything will work as expected. On another hand, a lot of launchpads, when they are launched, they have a problem that like a lot of hackers, they try to do something to take their money. Because like Launchpad, they deal with some money which they raise for startups. And of course, there's a risk that the hackers, they can be involved to take this money. So we also have measures to prevent this. So I can assure you that from the security point of view, like we pay very special attention to it. So and very soon we will also publish the results of our audit. So I believe that like investors, they shouldn't worry about it.
Okay, perfect. And the next question, two questions actually, from Silvio. What is the proportionally of the investment in crypto startups and in conventional startups, right? And the expansion of the amount of available tokens will be linked to which criteria?
Okay, so let me start with the first one. Yes, actually, that's a very interesting question, but I don't know if it's possible to give a short answer to this. So in our roadmap, we have this point that we work not only with crypto startups, but with traditional conventional startups as well. The thing is that, for example, now we see that there is a problem with the crypto market. Yeah, so when Bitcoin price goes down, like no one wants to invest in crypto startups because it's risky. Yeah, and we believe that working with conventional startups, it can help us just to wait until the situation gets better, right? But at the same time, working with them, it requires like certain legal structures. Yeah, because it's not so easy to do it from the legal point of view. So now we are working on this legal framework to make it possible, but it will happen a little bit later. Yeah, so we will start with the crypto project, and then we'll add investments into the tokens of conventional startups a little bit later, maybe in 3 or maybe in 6 months. Yeah, so like for now, like we will work with crypto projects.
And that's good because you don't become a hostage from a bull market, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and about the second part of the question?
Well, and the second part, the expansion. Okay, so probably, yeah, I think this is something which I already mentioned. So we have this large reserve in our tokenomics, and the expansion of it. So the community will decide what to do with them. Yeah, because we as a team, we don't want to make this decision. Yeah, so we want to be governed as a decentralized organization. Yeah, and we want our investors, our users, they want to have the voting power, the power to decide what to do. Yeah, so like it's up to them. We don't really know.
Okay. Next question from CMG. Will DAO create the reputation system for projects and teams? Oh, that's a good question. The people can take like a medal when they work in a past good project, for example?
Yeah. So yes, so as I mentioned, we will have reputation system for our participants. Okay, for the project. Yeah, I feel that this is another question. Yeah, so it's about reputation for projects and teams. That's interesting. You know, we did not think about it, but maybe we should. So I will just write it down, because that sounds really interesting. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. But if we talk about the second part, so will there be some kind of medal for the reputation? Actually, like if we talk about our community of investors, we are going to introduce kind of gamification. So actually, like they will have some kind of badges on our platform, so that you could recognize the best of them, like just looking at them. Yeah, so this is something we have in mind, and it's really good that you mentioned this.
Okay. The next question is still from Viner. What kind of projects can we expect to see launch at DAO LAUNCHPAD? Will be there a focus, or will be open for more opportunities? Because some launchpads are just focus on games or this and that.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Well, you know, if we look at the previous year, I think that the NFT, it was a very hot thing, and there were like launchpads which started specializing in NFTs. Then games, they started using NFTs, and a lot of launchpads, they started launching games only. We don't have something like that in mind. So I mean that we are open to any kind of projects, but at the same time, like as a DAO, I think that we will put a special focus on projects that will be governed as a decentralized autonomous organization. Because, you know, me personally, I don't know, Vila, if you know this fact. So in December, there is some dictionary which selects the word of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they selected NFT as the word of the year. So my personal belief is that the next year it will be DAO as the word of the year. Yeah, because as a concept, I mean, it's something amazing. So I just love this concept. So that's why we will pay like special attention to startups that will be governed as a DAO.
Okay, and well, the last question here from Primo: will KYC be required? If so, are you prepared to comply with data protection laws in different countries?
Well, yes. So to invest on our Launchpad, you will have to pass the KYC. That's true. And on the one hand, like we don't want to create a lot of burdens for community and to restrict them, like because we want to give this accessibility to everyone. But on another hand, like we still live in the real world, and like there are some laws in this world, so we just want to comply them. And for this reason, yeah, we will have the KYC process. So you'll have to pass it. Yeah.
Yeah, for Brazilians it's not a problem, but for Americans it's a huge problem, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, Slavik. So I'd like to say thank you so much for coming. And do you have any final thoughts that you would like to share with my audience? I don't know, call the people for your Twitter, for the Telegram, for the IDO.
Yeah, I believe that you have a great community of your show. And I will be very happy if your community will become a part of our community. So of course, I would like to welcome you and to join our, like on the one hand, our social networks, but what is more important, just to register on our Launchpad. Yeah, I think that this united crypto community, it can do a very great things together. So I will be happy to see you.
Okay. So thanks so much again. It was a big pleasure to have you here. Maybe you can come back some months later and you can do an update video, right?
Yeah, sure. It will be my pleasure, of course. Thank you.
And so thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.